Today we have variety. We have it in spades. We have it when choosing our clothes, our food, everything from mundane to extraordinary private jets, including candy. There's chocolates and gummies, sour or sweet. There's candy shaped like cups or candy shaped like ropes. There's even candy shaped like Krabby Patties, for fuck's sake. But it hasn't always been this easy. Our ancestors took over many hundreds of years to figure it out, and the journey has had its hiccups. Join us on the sweetest episode yet as we take a look at the surprisingly interesting history of candy.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Two gays walk into a bar. All right. Let's fuck.
What a way to start the show,
What a
eh?
way to start the show.
What a way to start the show.
It's time to start the show. Wow.
This is like our third time attempting to record this.
Third time attempting.
And
to
the
record
first time we
this.
got all the way through the fucking thing. So I'm pretty familiar with this material, okay?
Hopefully.
Okay. But I'm still going to have to read off my sheet. Okay.
Hopefully nothing
Okay.
will fuck up again. Jesus Christ.
It should be fine. I'm pretty confident in it this time, at least for the time being.
I'm drinking my
For now.
non-sponsored drink.
You know what they say? I actually forgot to set my little gnome guy up here. This guy's name is Charlie Davis, by the way. This little gnome. And then we have a Squidward. Oh, no. Bones is missing. Whatever.
Oh no, Bones is missing.
We've got Jerry hanging up on the wall in his rightful place.
Yep, Jerry's hanging up on the wall.
He came with this hook, so it's only so perfect.
Exactly. I thought about he was actually the very last skeleton in the Halloween decorations. It was like right after Halloween, and I saw him, and I was just like, that motherfucker is mine.
And it's totally fucking worth it.
Exactly.
We reacted to a trailer in the last episode, and
not last episode, the last attempt.
In the last attempt to do the episode, and you know what? We actually should be able to do it again because I just barely remember Disney's Cruella, starring Emma Watson.
Yeah. No.
Emma Chamberlain.
Emma Stone.
From the very beginning, I realized I saw the world differently than everyone else. That didn't sit well with some people. But I wasn't for everyone.
Okay, so she starts out young, and kind of impoverished by the look of it.
She just has like red hair, like she just looks like a normal, uptown girl.
What does she do? Uptown? She looks kind of raggedy to me. She looks like she's in a high-class establishment, but maybe
forget I said that.
Is she holding alcohol?
Yes, that looks like a bottle of
So she is a drunkard. At least early in the movie, maybe her life is in shambles. She's a car is driving into hellhole. And, we're going to be pausing this and kind of reacting to it and deep diving and dissecting it. If you want to watch the trailer, go watch it. Don't go through us to watch the trailer because if that's what your purpose is here, you're going to be very annoyed. Plus, I don't want to let it play too long for copyright issues and all that crap.
Yes.
All that stuff.
I guess they were always scared.
Devil on the front of the car there.
A psycho.
I've heard people say this looks like Disney's attempt at a Joker movie.
And I was ready to make a statement.
CGI Dalmatians. Awesome costume design.
How does the saying go?
Wow.
I am woman. Hear me roar.
That was pretty great. She has an awesome wig. I have excellent wigdar. I will say that until the day I die. And that's a wig.
Yeah.
That's a wig,
Yes,
all right.
it is.
But it's a good wig.
Definitely is a wig.
It most definitely is a good wig. Like I can see her walking down the runway in a wig like that.
With that transformation though, RuPaul's reveals would never.
She had an epic reveal where she dropped a flame on her dress and it sizzled all the way up and revealed this skin tight, a little bit more devious looking red dress.
Yeah, it was more like a giant white cloak with a big train.
Yeah,
because she had this hood on
and this epic headpiece.
Yeah, and then she she just like lit a match and then like touched the fucking or like threw it on the ground at the bottom of her dress and it just fucking like disintegrated. It was great. Yes, sirree.
That was pretty cool. Let's move on.
Hey, look.
So we have some like this May, her birth month.
I'm just getting started, darling.
Hello. Woo.
The thing is, I was born brilliant, born bad, and a little bit mad.
I saw it looked like graffiti of Cruella's name.
Ouch.
That's a lot like Joker. Mocha's come out to say hi. Our cat.
She's digging her claws into my
Oh
leg.
yeah. I mean, she's getting very
so
happy with how you're
amazing.
petting her, so she's going to attack you.
Yes.
Mocha is a very particular kitty. Not sure if you can see her on camera or not. She's so pretty though.
Probably could see her tail for a second at least.
Things are on fire,
Fake building on fire.
and she's staring at the aftermath and just ash all over her face, and she looks like a wreck. Dude, it's actually the day before my birthday.
Hell yeah.
Fuck. So we can go see this for my birthday.
Yes.
Awesome. It looks like it has more of like a actiony, heist movie sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I see that. Or it could probably be compared to a Maleficent, maybe, type of story, Because it has that, that like evil person, like saying the good side of him kind of thing. Ow,
people saying that this is their Joker, but they've already done that with Maleficent already.
Yeah.
To an extent.
People are saying.
Oh, Mocha, no. Oh, yeah, here she is, though. Isn't she so cute? Mocha, you want to say something? You can kind of hear her purr. That's the cutest thing.
Love that. I'm not. Don't give her.
Can you set her down, like over there, please? I don't want her in the middle of us
Give her to me.
get in the middle of our operations.
All right, Mocha, go away. Her foot got caught on my cord. She was like,
Yeah. Not the best environment for a kitty, but
yeah.
I do welcome her.
We always welcome her.
We will always welcome her every so often.
I want Tiny to visit now.
So, how do you feel about Cruella?
I am excited about it.
I think we
really
should
wanna
watch
see
it.
Yeah. 101 Dalmatians has always been one of my favorite Disney movies of all time.
Yeah.
So.
My only complaint would be the CGI Dalmatians.
Yeah.
You could have got real Dalmatians.
Come
I know
on.
that.
It's Disney. Come on, Disney.
I know they have the funds for it. If you got
right?
funds, obviously isn't an issue. It's more. I don't know. Maybe. Well, hey, no. For John Wick 3, Parabellum, Halle Berry's character, she actually fights with very highly trained dogs.
Oh.
And it's really fucking cool. And they're actual dogs that she's actually fighting with. And Halle Berry trained with the dogs.
Nice.
So, like, the dogs actually listened to her. Not just some trainer off on the side.
That would be the fucking shit.
Really cool. And lent to one of the coolest scenes in the movie in John Wick 3. And
I still need to watch all of them.
just show that it can be done even today,
Yep.
So no excuses. No excuses at all.
You don't get excuses.
Man, John Wick 3 is so good. All the John Wicks are really good. But we're not here today to talk about freaking action movies today.
We're here to talk about, what is it?
Candy.
I can name a couple ways maybe this shit might go.
I know Candy like the back of my mother flippin' hand.
I know
okay?
Candy like my candy.
You are not even ready.
You're
not even ready.
Are you
I'm
ready,
sorry.
kids?
I'm sorry. You're just not even ready. I keep forgetting where to look. So, yeah. Let's do that. There we go. All right. So to understand candy, folks, we have to understand the definition of candy technically, and it varies depending on where you live. If you're in the United States, the term candy refers to a broad category of any confection made primarily of sugar and other sweet ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
The heat and duration of cooking and cooling, sugar water, and added sweeteners and flavors determine the type of candy. Chocolate is referred to as candy in America and often added to other compatible food ingredients like nuts, fruits, seeds to form candy combinations. This rather general definition does not hold overseas, though.
Yeah.
The term candy is almost never used in the United Kingdom,
Nope.
and only lives on in the term candy floss,
Yeah.
which means it's cotton candy.
Cotton
Yes.
Yeah.
In the UK, back overseas, the common term for a piece of confectionery is a sweet.
Sweets.
However, in Scotland, candy can refer to crystallized sugar. In Australian English, all confections are known as lollies.
Yes.
Lollies, which is my personal
I
favorite.
love lollies.
Actually, when I was a kid, I almost choked on a jawbreaker, which would be a form of candy.
Oh, God.
It was actually
You almost choked, or you did choke?
well, I was choking. I didn't
Okay.
choke and die, but I was choking.
Yes.
I didn't asphyxiate or anything. But my aunt came to the rescue. She gave me the the stomach pump.
Yeah. That's actually very dangerous.
That
It's more dangerous than actual CPR.
well, I kept swallowing it back, just like reflexively, so it
Dumbass.
kept going down. Also, I was like 8, so give me a break.
I remember
cut me some
those.
slack. My mom was
those-
so terrified though; she was just like on the couch crying
I
because she
remember.
thought her baby was gonna die in front of her.
I remember choking on like a little tiny like Bratz doll shoe. It was
You
like,
would choke on
It
a
was
Bratz
like
doll
it was
shoe.
like this big, and like I was like 4 years old, and I just remember it because it was traumatic.
Oh yeah, a lot of discontinued candies were discontinued for that reason, for choking hazards. They would put toys in candies,
Yes.
which might be something we'll get into earlier. You never freaking know. But
Earlier.
or later. Sorry, but I'm drunk. But since that day, she never let me have jawbreakers ever again. So that was cool. I got to miss out on that. Around 6000 BC, an ancient artist in Spain drew a picture on a cave wall of a man scooping honey from a beehive.
Scoop.
From a beehive, I tell you. Back then, people climbed trees and fought stinging bees to satisfy their sweet tooth. Candy has evolved.
Candy has
So
evolved.
honey was
Okay.
kind of like candy before candy. I mean, and it makes sense. As something that's naturally sweet. You don't have to do anything to it. It's already there. You just have to wait for it to be there. The bees do all the work.
Yes.
You just got to reap the benefits,
have
you
to
know.
Take it from them.
The word candy comes from ancient Indian Sanskrit. Khanda means a piece of sugar. Whoa, that was loud. Khanda means a piece of sugar. Years later, the Arabic version moved one step closer with Kwandi, although it is believed that Indians were the first to use the sweet juice of sugarcane about 3,000 years ago. There is some evidence that islanders in Papua New Guinea were aware of the sweetness of sugarcane. Nearly 3,000 years before that, that would be about 4,000 BC is probably the earliest that humans discovered the use of sugarcane.
Lit. They were.
What is
getting
known for
hype
sure,
on sugar.
they were getting absolutely just bouncing off the walls hyper on this
Yes.
stuff. What is known for sure is that by boiling sugarcane juice, Indians were the first to make brown sugar.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
Brown sugar is amazing.
appropriate, I would say,
We
because
put brown sugar on sweet potatoes.
do we?
Yes, we
Brown
do.
sugar.
Or yams. Maybe some butter. And some
Maybe
brown
some-
sugar. Some
Maybe
cinnamon sugar.
some butter,
Some butter.
some cinnamon sugar. Before sugar came west, Egyptians used honey to make marshmallows, believe it or not, as early as
Ooh.
2000 BC. Later, slaves made honey cakes by mixing honey with dates, seeds, and nuts in a mold, which is not dissimilar from a lot of nut bars today, right?
Bars.
A lot of nut bars today. Hieroglyphics even show Egyptians keeping bees to harvest their honey. Around the same time, Greeks were using honey to make candied fruits, stems, and flowers. They also figured out how to make syrup out of figs and dates. But sugar was still mysterious. Yes, butt sugar. A special kind of sugar comes from the butt. Was still mysterious and exotic. Upon their invasion of India in 327 BC, Alexander the Great's men didn't fully understand seeing, quote, honey being produced without the intervention of bees. That's how he phrased what sugar was like. It was like honey without the bees.
Honey without the bees.
When the Romans,
isn't that in like a song?
honey, huh?
Honey without the bees.
I don't know.
It
It is not a song that I've heard. I'll tell you what is a song that I've heard though. Frickin' that when the Romans came on the scene, they all made all kinds of confectionery treats. What? Was that a good segue?
No.
No? Okay. I will tell you one thing though.
Yeah?
Like this is a true fact and it's how I've lived my life.
Yeah?
Since I've discovered this. A wise man once said, "You can catch flies with honey, but you catch more honeys being fly." Right? Right? No? Tough sub. When the Romans came on the scene, they made all kinds of confectionery treats called dulcia, the Latin word for sweet. Roman candy shops thrived in their cities. That's cool. Selling dates stuffed with almonds and stewed in honey, but still no sugar. So they weren't quite elevated as of yet. Across the pond, ancient Olmec civilizations of Mexico, y'all know we got to mention them, used cocoa powder to make the world's first chocolate drink.
Drink.
Shout out to the Olmecs.
We like the chocolate drink.
Oh my God. The name cacao was derived from the Olmec phrase for food of the gods.
Food of the gods?
So chocolate is food of the gods.
Yeah.
I mean, sounds about right to me.
I like that.
I love chocolate.
We love chocolate.
Mayan people are on record growing cacao as early as 1200 BC, and new evidence suggests that cacao may have been cultivated even before that. As the Olmecs and Mayans drank their cocoa, they had no idea the impact chocolate would eventually have. Back east, the Indians, having fought off Alexander, were enjoying brown sugar and getting the hang of making candy. About around 250 AD, Indian confectioners were making sugar candies in the shapes of animals and people.
Oh, look at that!
But before the party was over, but the party was over when Persian Emperor Darius attacked India in 510 AD.
Fucking Darius, man!
The Persian army soon discovered the secrets of sugarcane and described it as a reed that gives honey without the bees. So again, keeping with the beeless honey thing.
Beeless honey.
Beeless honey.
Or honeyless bees.
You know, I actually work at a health food store, and one time we sell natural honey that is made locally, and one time there was a bee in the honey, in one of the jars of honey. Like, it can happen. It makes sense why it could happen, like, every so often, but... No, wait, actually, no, there's, like, bee legs and bee parts.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, he was gonna be dead anyway.
Okay, but that's food for people.
I mean, it's just extra flavor to me.
Shut the fuck up. Extra protein.
It's extra flavor. The Persian army discovered it and described it as honeyless bees, or honeyless bees, as a beeless honey. But instead of stealing the recipe and sharing it with the world, the Persians decided to work with the Indians to export brown sugar to other civilizations.
Finally, someone to actually work with the Indians.
Mm-hmm.
No shade.
All shade. It was sold. These are like, the Asian Indians that we're referring to. Right? Were you aware of this? We're not talking about Native American Indians.
God damn it.
Okay. These are the Indian Indians, the correct Indians. all tea, all
the
shade.
correct Indians.
Well,
yeah, because they're called
yeah.
Native Americans. Yeah.
Yeah. So saying correct Indians is not like offensive. It's the opposite of that, unless it is. I don't fucking care. But instead of stealing the recipe and sharing it with the world, they decided to work with the Indians. It was sold far and wide as a medicine and general luxury item, and the profits rolled in. I imagine just Scarface, like Scarface, just stacks of coke on a desk.
Oh my god.
You know, but the Candy Empire would fall in 642 A.D.
AD.
When A.D.
All dicks.
A.D. stands for Anno Domini, I believe, which I don't remember what that's Latin for. But a lot of people think it means after death, and that is incorrect. When the Arabs invaded and stole the secret recipe, a lot like stealing the Krabby Patty formula, but for candy.
I now have the secret formula.
But that but that was the move, because after that, candy was public domain, and now the world could start to really cultivate the greatness that is candy.
The world can now
cultivate
the candy.
Exactly. And so what that allowed the world to do was have other forms of candy start slowly emerging in other parts of the world. Around the end of the 5th century, farmers in Spain began to grow licorice domestically to meet the public demand. Pretty good licorice.
I love licorice.
Kind of an old people food in a way. At least black licorice is.
Black licorice. Let me. Black licorice, yes.
Okay. At the same time in Central America, Mayans began chewing chicle from sapodilla trees to help digest food. Over the next few centuries, the spread of sugarcane would have a major impact on the confectionery habits of many Asian countries, especially China. The Chinese sweetened all their traditional favorites, including ginger, licorice root, and nuts, with sugar to make new confections.
Get my nuts.
Meanwhile, in the Middle East, the Arabs were cultivating sugarcane and hard at work, finding new ways to implement sugar and candy into their lives. By 950 A.D., they had invented caramel, but they had invented caramel, so a pretty long time ago. But it wouldn't get really good until Milton Hershey came around, but we're going to be talking about that in a minute. But now they had invented caramel, but it was originally used to remove hair.
Oh.
A bit like Nair. You know?
Yeah. Well, Nair melts the hair off. I imagine using caramel would be more like waxing.
Yeah.
Those meltable wax or whatever that you get, and then you put it right on there and you wait until it's dry, and then you just fucking rip it.
I was just looking for an excuse to call it Nairamel. No? Lozenges and marzipan were soon invented after that. They began to make sculptures out of sugar paste in the shapes of trees and animals. That's cute. Yes. And before long, the Arabs built the first sugar refinery in the world on an island they called Candia. During the Crusades, trade routes from Europe expanded east. Enterprising knights and traders brought sugar back to Europe. Candied fruits and boiled sugar candies began picking up steam, but sugar was still a rare and expensive luxury, really only enjoyed by the wealthy. Banquets of the rich and royalty often featured subtleties created from sugar paste in the shapes of cups, castles, animals that were broken and eaten at the end of a long day of partying. So candy was really kind of a rich thing.
Yeah.
The growing popularity of sugar in Europe encouraged investment in sugarcane. In the 1400s, Europe began looking for suitable places to cultivate and refine their own sugarcane. The Canary Islands, Sicily, and a few other warm climate locations were initially used.
Warm climates. Must be a warm climate, huh?
Yes. The increase in supply helped make sugar a bit more common and slightly less expensive, but the demand kept growing. In the late 1400s, Europe would soon find plenty of warm climate land on which to cultivate their love for candy.
For candy.
And when Spanish and Portuguese settlers came to the New World in the early 1500s, they planted sugarcane in the West Indies and Brazil. Sugar eventually became an important part of what came to be known as the Triangle Trade Route. May have heard about that in school. Europe traded textiles and weapons to Africa for slaves, sold the slaves in the Americas for rum and sugarcane.
It all comes full circle.
Rum and sugarcane. My two favorite things.
Triangle, perhaps.
Then took the sugar back to Europe, but a good place to grow sugar wasn't all they found in the Americas.
Please do not.
When Spanish conquistador.
When the Spanish conquistador, Hernando Cortés, first tasted chocolate, he called it the divine drink, which fights fatigue. Cacao's energy-giving properties stem not from caffeine, as it is widely rumored, but from another stimulant, theobromine. That's just a little, on the side. Did you know fact for you?
On the side.
Did you know that?
With some grits and some hash browns.
Did you know that, PJ?
Say it again. Because I completely forgot.
Cacao's energy-giving properties stem not from caffeine, as it is widely rumored, but from another stimulant, theobromine.
What is theobromine?
It's a chemical, I guess. I don't know. It's a thing that's in chocolate that gives you energy. Why you bugging?
Why ain't you bugging?
Why ain't I bugging? Because Mexican hot chocolate is what we're going to talk about. The Aztec chocolate was served as a hot beverage with a strong, bitter taste. Have you had a 100% fucking chocolate bar?
No, I have not, but I have had a 92% cacao bar, and it was actually terrible.
Yeah,
Too strong.
I tried eating a 100% chocolate bar, and it was inedible. I don't know why I thought it would be any, decent. PJ's over there drinking his Mountain Dew.
Totally a Mountain Dew.
Totally a Mountain Dew, nothing else. While conquering the Aztecs of Mexico, Cortés and his men found the cacao warehouse of Montezuma II, the last Aztec emperor. Spoiler alert. Montezuma had acquired 960 million cacao seeds.
Wow.
That's enough to make 25 million chocolate bars today.
Wow.
What? That's a crazy statistic.
That's a crazy statistic.
Not everyone shared Cortez's affection for the bold drink. I don't blame them. Many Spaniards believed it needed something to take off the bitter edge. Enter sugar. By adding sugar, which was new in the Americas at the time, the Spanish created a chocolatey drink that everyone loved. I picture Hernando Cortés as the big bad general in the movie that just kills his inferiors when they
Yes.
when they mildly annoy him,
Yes.
Which is kind of a trope in movies that I don't really understand. Why would anyone want to work for someone that's just gonna fucking kill them if they fuck up? That's
because they're scared of them.
That must not be a very good work environment.
If a dude was like, "Hey, work for me or die,"
OSHA would not be having that. But I just picture some humble measly squire kind of sauntering up to Cortés and just trying to have the balls to tell him he doesn't like his insanely bitter drink that tastes like utter garbage. Drink it will give you energy.
Just okay, I'll try it.
It's good. It's really good. It's so great. Enter sugar, though. By adding sugar, which was new in the Americas at the time, the Spanish created a chocolatey drink that everyone loved.
Everybody loved it.
Everyone loves chocolate
Everybody
drinks.
loved. Everybody hates Chris.
Except for those of you who don't like chocolate.
Except for you that don't like chocolate.
And that's freaking weird.
Everybody that doesn't like chocolate, well, you better be expecting me in your mailbox or under your porch.
In your mailbox? North American colonists also learned that Native Americans, that's the real Indians. Wait, no, that's the wrong Indians. They are Native Americans, okay, not Indians.
Yeah.
So
They're Native Americans, babe.
So
They're Native Americans,
So you
babe.
best not get that mixed up.
Better not fuck it up. And don't disrespect every Native...
Yes,
Hold on,
of course.
Hold on, wait, let me retry that. And don't disrespect the Native Americans.
Like you did earlier by calling them Indians.
Fuck off!
Fucking burn.
Oh, fuck.
Now, Native Americans have been tapping trees for sap for hundreds of years, bro.
They'd be tapping that tree
By
for sure.
boiling the sap in clay pots, they were able to make maple syrup and maple sugar long before the Europeans showed up. The natives,
syrup.
being cordial natives, were happy to share their knowledge with the newcomers, and maple syrup became a colonial favorite because, of course, it did.
Yes.
It's maple syrup. It's
Maple
amazing.
syrup is amazing.
This ain't no Mrs. Butterworth's, all right?
If I didn't have
This
to
is
worry
the
about
real
getting
shit.
fat, I would chug Mrs. Butterworth's, okay? I would fucking drink it.
Well, Mrs. Butterworth's isn't maple syrup. It's
It's basically high fructose corn syrup.
it is
and,
high fructose corn syrup
with maple flavoring.
with extra shit. It's very bad for you.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's not like maple syrup itself
But, like-
is really good for you because it's very high in sugar.
Regular maple syrup is still pretty fucking good. Like, I'd still chug that shit.
Regular maple syrup is easily the better one
Ooh.
because it's actually real. Doesn't have that
Yeah.
fake taste. Have that high fructose taste.
You fake motherfucker. Oh, I popped my ear.
Maybe you shouldn't do that.
Maybe you should shut the fuck up.
Maybe I should. In the 16th century Europe, the candy industry was becoming more organized, all right? About to get some industry going. Molding boiled candy with fruits and nuts began Molding boiled candy with fruits and nuts began to pick up steam, and by the 17th century, boiled sugar candies, hard candy, popped up in England and became a favorite in the American colonies. Chocolate started to spread from Spain to other parts of the continent when Spanish princess Maria Teresa was to be married to King Louis XIV of France.
Maria Teresa?
Her name is Maria Teresa.
Baby.
What?
That's Maria. Mariah is spelled
What?
with an H at the end.
Is it?
That's Maria.
Oh. Maria Teresa is what I said. Pretty sure if you check the playback. I'm
Actually,
pretty
if
sure
you
that's what I
check the
said.
playback, you said Mariah.
If
And
you,
the name of Mariah.
if you check the playback, I would never lie. Was to be married to King Louis XIV of France around 1660. She offered chocolate as an engagement gift. As the chocolate drink spread in Europe,
That is the best goddamn engagement gift.
it is. Freaking, that's what I want, motherfucker.
I got you.
Lots of chocolate. And if you don't get me enough chocolate, what I deem to be enough chocolate, I will be like visibly upset. I'll be like Dudley from Harry Potter, like the little bratty muggle kid, because there's like one less present than there was last year.
36, but I had 37 last year.
Some are a lot, some are a lot bigger and more expensive than last year. I don't fucking care.
He just fucking
Imagine having a child like that. Ugh.
would.
But that's what I would be like.
I would not have a child like
With-
that. I'm
with
telling you
chocolate.
right now, we will never have a child like that.
Okay.
I am going to discipline my child. I'm sorry.
And we are talking about children because PJ is pregnant.
Because I am here, let me just
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm showing the YouTubes my pregnant belly.
Okay. How far along are you?
37 months.
Wow. The miracle of life. Isn't it? Isn't it gorgeous?
Isn't it gorgeous, guys?
It's so just great just to like warm. It just warms your
I
heart.
just honestly can't. I just can't believe that I've been pregnant for 37 months.
That's
It's
so
just
long.
insane, bro.
I
Hopefully this motherfucker comes out soon.
it's just now clicked that you said 37 months. I don't know why.
Having triplets.
Maybe I thought you said 37 weeks or something. But even that, wait, how many weeks is 9 months? 9 times 4, 36. 37 weeks would be like, yeah. So that would be 9 months. Okay, whatever. Doing some fast math. You know what he's gonna do?
Quick math.
Quick math. As the chocolate drink spread in Europe, new flavors like nutmeg and cinnamon were added to spice it up. The candy engine started to roar. Candy engine. You like that? Like revving that candy engine.
You should edit in a clip of a car zooming past with your voice going.
I'll see if I can work that in. I'm off tomorrow. I'll have to spend all day on that graphic, I'm sure. Once the 1800s got underway, new types of candy materialized. Rock candy was a happy accident of a Scottish hard candy maker. That was me, actually. A Dutchman invented the first. I fucking hate you. A Dutchman invented the first hard chocolate candy in 1844. The chocolate bar was born.
The chocolate bar.
I didn't really like phrase that properly. I didn't I just kind of went right into a suspenseful moment. I'm gonna redo that.
I don't know why.
Live for the audience, huh?
I don't know why I haven't done this yet, but
Chocolate!
I'm gonna have to turn that shit down, dude. You just shattered someone's eardrums.
You're welcome,
including my own.
Chocolate.
Okay, so I'm going to redo that line.
I remember chocolate.
I'm going to redo that line, and I'm going to put a little more, stank on it. A Dutch man invented the first hard chocolate candy in 1844. The chocolate bar was born. Good?
What kind of accent was that supposed to be?
I wasn't really going for an accent. I was just going for a voice.
Oh.
Just whatever my throat projected out into the world.
Whatever your throat.
Just whatever my throat decided to project.
Okay. Are you projecting, Tristan?
From my throat, I am. Not long after, the Swiss began producing their version of chocolate and would later become known for their high-quality chocolate candy, Swiss chocolate. Soon, milk...
chocolate candy, Swiss chocolate.
For their high-quality Swiss chocolate candy, bitch. Don't fucking interrupt my fucking presentation unless you got something to add. The fuck you thinking?
I'm sorry, I'm fucking dying.
Soon, milk chocolate, got something to say? Soon, milk chocolate was invented, and candies like peppermint and lemon drops became popular near the beginning of the 20th century. Candy factories began popping up everywhere. Getting some industry going, getting some fucking factories, the American way. Candy factories began popping up everywhere, and new flavors and textures of candy were being invented almost daily, bro. Lollipops, saltwater taffy, fudge, and much more hit the scene, and the many sweet flavors of candy were here to stay.
Heck yeah. Hell yeah, boner.
And that is the world history of candy.
And that was the world history of candy. If you ever find it.
Huh?
I don't know.
Okay, now that I've talked a little bit about the world history of candy, the rest of the show is going to be dedicated to candy in America and
in America.
Shady practices in the candy industry.
Shady ladies.
Yes, very, very shady.
We got some shady ladies in here.
Involving a lawsuit that actually came out this month.
Oh,
so,
fuck.
Yeah. So, very, very excited to bring that to you guys.
Bring it. Bring it on,
whore. Fucking bring it and bring it hard. To understand candy in America is to understand the legacy of Hershey. Okay? Hershey.
She, her?
Hershey. Hershey today is one of the largest chocolate manufacturers in the world with billions in yearly revenue and 17 plants across the globe. Here are some of the top brands that Hershey owns. I kind of printed out a little graphic. The fucking ink is pretty shitty, but Hershey's, Reese's, like Kit Kat. You got snack mixes. You work peppermint patties, Almond Joys, Twizzlers, ranging down to like savory things like popcorn and beef jerky and
have Crave on here, Skinny Pop.
Yeah.
Kit Kat, Almond Joy, Twizzler.
They own much of the snack aisle is kind of the point here.
There's so many of these that I can't see.
Yeah, because Sorry, my printer is shitty. Whatever.
Yeah, your printer is shitty.
Just odds are, there is one of like 3 companies that owns the snack that you're eating right now. Odds.
Yep. Odds.
But Hershey wasn't always the global chocolate dominator that it is today. The humble origins of the Hershey Company. Dominator, like a dominatrix, like a sexy chocolate dominatrix. The humble origins of the Hershey Company begin with Milton Snavely Hershey. I don't know if it's Snavely or Snavely.
Let me see.
Snavely? I feel like it may be Snavely, but I'm going to say Snavely. The story of Hershey is a story about perseverance and passion. I think we could all learn a lot from Milton Hershey. His story is honestly one that is quite wholesome. He seemed like a really genuine, true, generous guy.
Which is something that we're not used to on this channel.
It's something that we are not used to, is actually talking about like a good person.
A good guy.
Yes, and honestly, don't get used to it.
Don't get used to it. We're talking about something else next episode.
We are. He was born in Dairy Church, Pennsylvania, though that is disputed as what his exact birthplace is. But he was born in Pennsylvania to Henry Hershey and Veronica Fanny Snavely. Fanny. Watch the Fanny.
Do you know that in the UK, do you know what a fanny is?
A butt?
No.
A butt?
In the UK, that's not what a fanny is.
What is it?
It's a front butt.
A front butt?
A front butt, yes.
Vagina? Vagine?
Yes.
Fanny is a slim vagine. Hershey spent the early years of his childhood trailing his father, a dreamer. He's a dreamer, but he's not the only one, who always had his eye out for the next big opportunity. But Henry Hershey lacked the perseverance and work ethic to stick anything out. The early years of Henry and Fanny Hershey's marriage were filled with frequent moves, as Henry followed one dream after another. Each move carried them further into poverty and rough circumstances.
Heck yeah.
By 1867, Hershey's father had largely cut himself out of the family picture. The details around the parent separation are cloudy, because people like to keep that sort of thing private.
Sort of.
If we ever got big, I would like to think that we would want to keep most of our private affairs private.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to share like my intimate life details with the world. No. I'm not about that.
Yeah.
People who can do that, I just don't know how. But to each their own, for sure.
Yes.
It's largely believed that Fanny, the daughter of a Mennonite clergyman, had grown tired of her husband's failures to men. I mean, let's be real.
She said no.
If he ain't bringing home the bread, then she gonna have to go to the baker down the street. You know what I'm saying? To Mennonites, money and property.
Oh my God! I love that.
Was that good?
That was good.
Oh man, I thought that was pretty good.
Wait, let me just. Hi, Ron. I'd like to keep that one.
Okay, cool. Hello? To Mennonites, money and property meant more than mere worldly convenience. Financial success was a reflection of divine blessing. If you weren't rich, you weren't shit, is what I'm gathering. Henry's that's actually what they're kind of saying. It's a little fucked that that's a part of the religion. But I guess the makers of the religion want the followers of the religion to strive for financial success because of dowries and church fees and things. So that makes sense. I mean, why try to have all your followers be poor when they could be loaded and you could make some money?
Exactly.
Financial success was a reflection of divine blessing. Henry's failure to achieve financial security pushed the couple apart. With Hershey's upbringing left to her, the strict Fanny instilled in her son an appreciation for hard work. Get him.
Huh?
You know, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, kind of raisin, and I can dig it.
And get that mud off your pants.
With Hershey's upbringing left to her, what do you say?
I said, and get that mud off your pants.
That's great.
Do you not know what that's from?
No.
It's from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Which one?
It's the
Charlie
and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. With Hershey's upbringing left, I really don't remember. I actually watched that. That movie's kind of forgettable to me.
What? I think it's so iconic.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, yes. It's a Tim Burton film.
I know, but you just can't usurp the Gene Wilder performance. He just crushes the whole movie. And all the performances in that movie are really good. From Charlie, from Grandpa Joe.
Well, it's just a different perspective. That's why
I know, but I just...
Don't compare the two.
Call me old-fashioned. I just like the original. I'm sorry.
Well, you shouldn't compare them.
And I just think Gene Wilder's a comedy fucking genius in the movie.
Well, yeah.
Like, comedy fucking
I'm not
gold.
saying that, like...
Could not be better.
It's better than the other one. I'm just saying it's iconic in its own way.
We all have our opinions, no matter how wrong they may be. It's okay.
Yeah, and yours is wrong.
What? What? At the age of 14, Hershey, who had dropped out of school the year before, expressed an interest in candy making. So he was not a learned person.
Learned.
He began apprenticing with a master confectioner in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. 4 years later, Hershey borrowed $150 from his aunt and set up his own candy shop in the heart of Philadelphia.
Only $150.
Well, in like fucking the 1870s.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So that would have been like a couple thousand today. I mean, still, like, I think the inflation rate from then to now, actually, you can only really measure the inflation rate back till 1913 on the internet, on all the biggest inflation calculators, which is kind of weird. But the inflation rate for that is like times 26. And times 26 and some change. So this would be like $30,000 around there, more, since it's 1870s. For 5 long years.
5 long years.
For 5 years, Hershey poured his sweat and his time into the business. But success eluded him. Finally, he closed shop and headed west, reuniting with his father in Denver, where he found work with a confectioner. It was there he discovered caramel, and he actually kind of really changed the game of caramel. He found that you could use fresh milk to make it, and it would really give it this sort of creaminess that it just didn't have before, and he really changed things. But the entrepreneur in Hershey wasn't content to work for someone else, and he struck out on his own again, first in Chicago, later in New York City. In both cases, Hershey failed. So in 1883, he returned to Lancaster, and still convinced he could build a successful candy company, he started the Lancaster Caramel Company. Ooh. Success soon followed. Within a few short years, Hershey had a thriving business and was shipping his caramels all over the world.
Heck yeah.
So that just goes to show the story of Hershey is one that if you try something...
Isn't that still a
It sounds
company?
Really familiar.
I feel like that's still existent.
It sounds very familiar. You go to try something and it doesn't work. So you just fucking do it again. And you do it again and you do it again. And then you keep fucking doing it.
It's a little engine that could.
Because all those times you're going to try, like, as soon as you have that one that actually pans out, it's like all your failures of the past. It's like, they were worth it. Because you can use the knowledge
Knowledge is power.
You can use the knowledge from those failures and put it to your successes.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. That's exactly what he did.
Most
So pouring out for our homie Milton Hershey, he is dead. I will point that out. Unfortunately, he did tragically pass away. That is a very thumbs down. Yes. I was kind of hoping reading this like that he would still be alive today and I'll be able to, like, chat with him, but no, he's
Get him
gone.
on a Zoom call.
Tragically gone, Now we get into why he was named the Chocolate King.
Oh,
At the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago in 1893, Hershey got an up-close and personal look at the art of chocolate making. He was immediately hooked. While his caramel business boomed, he started a second company, the Hershey Chocolate Company, which may sound familiar.
Nice.
His fascination quickly became focused on milk chocolate, considered a delicacy and largely the domain of the Swiss. Well, sorry, Swiss. But it's about time that some American took over and showed you how it was done.
That
USA.
Some people that are not that much better
USA.
than you, show you a thing or two.
And Hershey knew how it was fucking done.
Because we're all
He was determined to find a new formula that would allow him to mass produce and mass distribute. That's the important part. Milk chocolate candy. Okay, he was about to discover a new secret formula.
Good, honestly.
What?
I don't like Hershey's milk chocolate that much.
Okay, we got to talk about that. I love Hershey's milk chocolate. I think it's so classic. It is so good. It has such a.
I don't.
It's just so classic. Sometimes when I'm in the mood for some sort of confection, sweet or a salty snack even, I'm just in the mood for something basic, something simple, something I know is going to be, pleasing. And sometimes you're not in the mood for all the bells and whistles. Like, if it's ice cream, sometimes I don't want a rocky road. Or I don't want, fudge stuffed with chocolate ribbons. Sometimes I just want plain Jane vanilla.
But listen. Dark chocolate is that for me. Like, I like Hershey's dark chocolate.
Yes.
But Hershey's milk chocolate is trash.
I don't know about that. I also love dark chocolate. I'm a dark chocolate lover. I'm not a dark chocolate denier, all right?
Good.
But I just love a classic Hershey's. It's just classic.
I am not knocking you for that.
Is there something wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong with you liking it.
Are you trying to say that you think that I should die or something because
there's nothing
like
wrong.
Chocolate? Is that what I'm hearing?
There's nothing wrong with you liking it.
I don't believe you.
There's nothing wrong with me not liking it.
I'm detecting a hostility coming from you.
I'm just trying
aggression.
I'm just trying
and
to
it's making me
explain
uncomfortable.
myself, and you keep interrupting me.
Well, this is like our show, and we're just gonna talk over each other until the end of time.
Welp.
Okay. So now that we, we're gonna have to squash that beef later, though. For real, we're gonna have to have a long, serious talk about that after the podcast. I just shut off the recording. I just click stop recording, and then I turn to you all serious, and I go you really upset me back there. In 1900, he sold the Lancaster Caramel Company
that
for.
Triggered me, honestly.
Oh, what, me doing that?
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's not real. It's all fun and games.
No, it triggered me for a second.
Yeah, because it was so real. Because my acting is so good.
No, yeah.
Okay.
It was like war flashbacks.
Oh, you got a Vietnam flashback.
Yeah.
Okay. In 1900, he sold the Lancaster Caramel Company for an astonishing $1 million, about 26 milli today.
26 milli.
26, 30
Wait,
mil.
how much was the original amount?
1 million.
1 million, which is worth 26 million today.
26 million in 1913. This is 1900. 13 years difference in inflation.
Wow.
But it was a pretty decent amount. And I don't know what's become of the Lancaster Caramel Company. I'm not quite sure. Let me look it up. Nothing really became of it.
Okay.
Well, that's cool. That was fun.
That was fun.
There's a reason why I didn't include that in my initial presentation. I'm now seeing.
That was easy.
3 years later, he began building a mammoth and modern candy making facility in Berry
Mammoth.
Church. Fucking big, bro.
Mammoth.
It was well, by me saying mammoth, that's actually me saying that it was a candy making factory that was large and hairy.
Oh.
Yes.
I love
actually
large.
had a coating of a shaggy hair on the
Interesting.
outside of it. Very, very interesting.
Nice.
It opened in 1905, setting a new course for Hershey in the candy industry. And I would like to also state a nice little did you know here. Milton Hershey was almost on the Titanic during its fateful final voyage, even putting down a $300 deposit for the crossing. But a business emergency made him change his travel plans at the last minute.
Ooh.
Titanic. Yep, that's a fact. Crazy stuff.
It could have, in an alternate universe, Hershey's company could have never existed.
If that happened, would Hershey's company be here today?
Who knows?
Would have someone picked up the company mantle if he had passed away?
Did he have any
The Titanic was 1912.
Did he have any family by then? Any kin to
When did he marry his wife? Him and his wife have been married for a good 14 years.
But he would have been with his wife on the Titanic, though, wouldn't he?
That's actually probably likely, yeah. A business emergency made him change his plans.
So,
Change his
unless if he didn't have any children, then that company probably would not exist.
That is something. And no, he never had children.
Oof.
Which is actually why he was very... Actually, no, we're getting into that. We're talking about why he was a man of the people, Hershey was. Quickly, the Hershey Chocolate Company's success far exceeded that of its former founder's previous venture. His winning ideas included the Hershey Kiss in 1907, a personal favorite of mine, which the company's founder named himself. The trademark foil wrapper was added in 1924. As the company grew and Hershey's wealth expanded, so did his vision for creating a model community in his home region. In the town that came to be known as Hershey, Pennsylvania, Hershey built schools, parks, churches, recreational facilities, and housing for his employees. He even added a trolley system for his workers. At his side for much of his philanthropy was his wife, Catherine, whom he'd married in 1898. Unable to have children of their own, the Hersheys focused a good portion of their giving on endeavors that affected kids. In 1909, the couple opened the Hershey Industrial School, a facility for orphan boys. It has since become a landing spot for girls as well, and is now known as the Milton Hershey School.
Heck yeah, dude.
Very generous and kind, and not only just philanthropic in the way
Philanthropic. Wait, I thought it was it's like Finland.
Not only was he generous enough that he didn't just throw money at people, he actually helped,
he physically
build
helped.
things from the ground up, housing for his employees. In 1918, 3 years after Catherine's unexpected death, Hershey transferred much of his wealth, including his ownership stake in the Hershey Chocolate Company, to the Hershey Trust, which funds the Hershey School.
Nice.
Gave up his stake in the company and most of his wealth for the kids.
That's awesome.
Very
That's
awesome.
A fucking hero.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Kind of warms your heart. There is still good in the world, even though this was a long time ago.
You know what else is warming my heart?
What?
This alcohol.
Same. Hershey's philanthropy continued even when the economy struggled and he was nearing the end of his life. In the 1930s, during the Great Depression, Hershey ignited a building mini-boom in his town in order to keep men working. He ordered the construction of a large hotel, a community building, and new offices for the Hershey Company. During World War II, Hershey backed the country's military efforts by supplying forces with chocolate bars. We're going to talk about kind of the Hershey's legacy in the military. He helped the military by supplying forces with chocolate bars called the Ration D bar, and later the better-tasting Tropical Chocolate Bar. The latter was a specially made bar of tasty chocolate that would hold its shape and not melt in up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
Yeah, so you could keep this thing in your pocket, tropical jungle climates.
Nice.
And the Ration D bar was intentionally less flavorful than chocolate. It was thought that normal chocolate would be too tempting in taste to be used as an emergency ration to be eaten only when on the verge of starvation. So the Ration D bar was deliberately made only slightly better in taste than a boiled potato. Later, the company provided the same tropical chocolate bar for the Gulf War. So the tropical bar was a little better.
Good.
In recognition of its outstanding war effort, Hershey Chocolate Corporation was awarded the Army Navy E Production Award on August 22nd, 1942. The corporation received a flag to fly above the chocolate plant and a lapel pin for every employee. That's cool. I like that. The award was presented for exceeding all production expectations in the manufacturing of an emergency field ration, an honor not easily worn nor lightly bestowed. This wartime honor recognized companies that consistently met high standards of quality and quantity in light of available resources. Yes, well earned. At the award ceremony, Major General Gregory noted the company's achievements, stating, "The men and women of Hershey Chocolate Corporation have every reason to be proud of their great work in backing up our soldiers on the fighting fronts." By the end of the war, in 1945, Hershey Chocolate Corporation would receive a total of 5 of these awards. To those who knew Hershey, his generosity wasn't surprising. Shy and reserved, Hershey had a quiet demeanor that contrasted greatly with that of many of America's other business titans. Think Vanderbilt, Ford, Rockefeller. While he seldom wrote or read and had been forced to leave school early, Hershey was driven to make sure those around him received a solid education. His display of wealth was rather modest, if not downright thrifty. His house and the community he'd helped to create meant everything to him. And when it came to building his own home, he made sure the Hershey Company headquarters was part of the view.
Nice.
He was understandably very proud of what he'd helped to create.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
But he seemed to be actually extremely humble about it, according to those around him.
Well, at least he wasn't like a snob or a bad person.
On all accounts that I could find, he seemed to be a pretty good guy. Most of the controversy around Hershey come after his death. When shit hits the fan. And now the final years, because he is dead, as I mentioned. Spoiler alert.
Rip.
I know, it sucks. Rip. Pouring out for your homie. Following his late wife, Catherine's death, Hershey never remarried and supposedly carried a picture of his late wife wherever he traveled.
Aww.
In keeping with the work ethic his mother instilled in him, Hershey continued to work well into his 80s. He died in Hershey, Pennsylvania on October 13th, 1945. So he did live to see the Hershey Company get all those medals. His legacy as a businessman and philanthropist continues to this day. The Hershey Chocolate Company has endured as one of the world's great candy makers, with brands that include Almond Joy, Mounds, one of my favorites, Cadbury, Reese's, one of my really big favorites, and Twizzlers.
Yes. Twizzlers.
Twizzlers are pretty great.
I love Twizzlers.
Just as impressive, the Milton Hershey School now serves about 1,900 students each year, while the M.S. Hershey Foundation, established in 1935, funds educational and cultural activities for Hershey residents. So, all in all, a great legacy, and I give him 5 Jerry's out of 5.
5.
That is a rating system I just made up.
5 Jerry's.
So, we are going to take a little break.
Gonna take a little break here.
You're going to hear a message.
Go potty. Take a message.
A message from our Employee of the Month, Jerry.
Employee of the Month. Yes.
Employee of the Month. he got
works
the
very
award.
hard.
He works very hard. He really pulls his own weight around here.
He is the whole show.
And I would say worst employee of the month would be Charlie Davis right here.
I think
little
worst
gnome
employee
guy.
is definitely Squidward.
I mean, like, he comes to work with a really bad attitude, but God, he's just so damn funny. I see a lot of myself in Squidward. Anyways, all right, so we're gonna take our break and we'll be right back, guys. Okay, all right,
Bye.
bye.
I told you that I only smoke about 5 packs a day. Okay? I don't know why you're such a... Oh, sorry. Hi, guys. If you've never noticed, I always have a cigar in my mouth. And you know why that is. It's because I'm stressed as fuck. The only thing that relieves my stress is the Two Gays Walk in a Bar podcast. So if you didn't already know, it's the best thing in the goddamn world. And if you want something that'll put some hair on your chest, other than a couple packs of cigarettes, you can watch the fucking podcast, alright? Now, mother, I wanted some fucking cupcakes. Now, why didn't you...
There we go.
There we go. We're back from our break.
We're back from a break, and I put on a hoodie because I'm cold.
Yeah, getting pretty tipsy here, but the show must go on.
The show must go on.
Shall not get over.
And that reminds me.
The show must go on. So we talked about Hershey. Hershey's a really good guy, and he's kind of one of the candy, the candy titans, you know. But there's another candy titan that isn't really as interesting as Hershey, so I'm kind of gonna touch on them here after, and but they are a little interesting just by how uninteresting they are, if that makes any sense. They're interesting because they are so uninteresting because they are so secretive about their private affairs, and that is Mars Incorporated. Mars, not the planet, but the company, the candy company. You ever heard of Mars bars? You ever heard of Mars being a giant multinational manufacturer of candy, pet food, and other snack items? Their revenue per year amounts to billions of dollars, and they are ranked as the 6th largest privately owned company in the world. Hello. The sole owners of the company, as they do not allow shareholders, are the Mars family. They are the 3rd richest family in the world, only behind the Waltons, Walmart, and the Koch family. Koch family. Koch. Dealing in petroleum and gasoline and deal heavily in political affairs. Like when people talk about like big money being in politics, the Koch family is a pretty prime example. Here's some of the brands that Mars owns. They own Uncle Ben's rice. They own many of your favorite candies. Mars, M&M's, Snickers, Milky Way, Dove, Twix, Bounty. They own Pedigree.
Bounty is definitely my favorite candy.
I think that's like a overseas thing because I'm not familiar with that logo. Whatever, who cares? When
I think of Bounty, I think of
toilet paper? Paper towels. Yeah.
Bounty.
They own Pedigree dog food. They own Whiskas cat food. They own a lot of fucking gum and mints. Altoids, 5 Gum, Excel, Juicy Fruit, Extra, fucking Orbit, Hubba Bubba. They own it all. The Mars family have been famously tight-lipped about their private affairs. They rarely give interviews or allow themselves to be photographed in public. And do my research, I was only able to find a couple pictures of anybody in the Mars family. Mocha comes in saying hi. That's all right.
Hello.
Just kind of let her wander. And that's really it on the Mars family.
Cover your butthole. No one wants to see that.
I'm sure many people want to see that. So the history of Mars isn't as interesting as Hershey's, yes, but the two companies have something in common besides a stranglehold on the candy market, being shady practices, including...
Shady.
Yeah, it gets fucking deep, dude. And we already talked about it, so it's not exactly fresh for us, but it's going to be fresh for you, most likely. And shady practices, including child trafficking and child slavery. Yeah, this is getting serious.
Damn. Mocha, shut the fuck up.
Mocha, hush. Mocha's over there being loud. She just doesn't get along with Tiny very often.
Yeah, Tiny is under the table right now.
Yeah, Tiny is our other cat, and maybe you'll get to see him too.
Oh my goodness.
Since we're out in the living room now, which is why the lighting is like a lot worse, but the audio might be better.
We have these fucking blankets hanging up.
Yeah.
In a square formation.
This is some real DIY craft shit here, but they're blocking us in because before we put these blankets up, the sound, the acoustics in this room was just
that reverb.
Absolutely just unlistenable.
Yep.
Unlistenable. This is a fresh article, courtesy of confectionerynews.com.
Ooh.
Be sure to give them the credit they deserve.
Shout out.
Big shout out to Confectionery News. And the title of this article is Cocoa Giants Face Fresh Lawsuit Over Child Labor Claims in Côte d'Ivoire. Multinational cocoa companies, Nestle, that's a fucking big one, all right? Nestle, Cargill, Barry Callebaut, Mars, another big one. Olam, Hershey's, big one. Mondelez, really big one. All those are really big companies, and they've all been named as defendants in a federal class action lawsuit in the United States on behalf of 8 Malayan boys who have alleged that they were used as slave labor on cocoa farms in Côte d'Ivoire for more than one of the firms. Yes. And Nestle has actually gone under hot water for this before. I don't know if it's been legally necessarily, at least in the court of public opinion. It's been kind of like an open secret that a lot of these companies have been up to this just shady shit, and they've just been getting away with it. And it's just fucking crazy. It gets really crazy, some of the things that these companies are planning to do, but we're going to get into it. The IRA, that is the International Rights Advocate, okay, not the Rifle Association. International Rights Advocates, a Washington, D.C. human rights firm, claimed the 8 former child slaves say they were forced to work without pay on cocoa farms in the West African country in legal proceedings started on the 12th of February, Friday.
Ooh.
That would be a good 9 days ago. As of the recording of this episode, very, very fresh stuff. It is the first time. This is fresh, juicy news. We are getting the hot scoop, babe. It is the first time that a class action of this kind has been filed against the cocoa industry in a U.S. court. The plaintiffs, who are now young adults, are seeking damages for forced labor and further compensation for unjust enrichment, negligent supervision, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, the IRA claimed. Cheap cocoa. Terry Collingsworth, the executive director of IRA, that's a name you're going to hear a lot in this article. He's the executive director of IRA, said, this is a quote, "These companies have a long history of violating the law and participating in a venture in Côte d'Ivoire that relies upon using child slaves to produce cheap cocoa. In 2001, these companies negotiated and signed the Harkin-Angle Protocol, in which they explicitly promised consumers and regulators that they would stop using child labor by 2005. Instead, they have given themselves numerous unilateral extensions of time and now claim that by 2025, they will reduce by 70% their reliance on child labor.
Fucking
rather than make progress, their use of child labor is actually getting worse.
It's ridiculous.
So,
ridiculous.
What he just said was that they pledged to stop child labor by 2005, and instead they worked around that in order to change it to 2025. We'll have 30% of what we have now. That's ridiculous. Another 20 years on top. Like, it's just fucking crazy that this is allowed to happen.
Well, hey, hopefully within the next 4 years.
And we know exactly why. It's because it's cheap. It's because
Yeah.
it's because it's cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
Collingsworth claims are backed by a 2020 Department of Labor study, which concluded that 1.56 million child laborers were involved in cocoa production and harvesting in the cocoa growing areas of Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana in the 2018-19 growing season. That would be an increase from the 2015 study, and 1.48 million child laborers engaged in hazardous work during this period. 1.5 million children, hazardous work. And
That's crazy.
and meanwhile, us in America, we have to wear masks. We have to wear face masks so we don't get COVID-19. And these children have to worry about literally dying working for these chocolate companies. Isn't that lovely?
Oof.
That's the candy episode. Hi, Mocha. Hi, darling.
That's the candy episode. That was it?
Meow. No. There's more. It gets worse. The case documentation seen by Confectionery News, you are so sweet, seen by Confectionery News, maintained the defendants are responsible for developing the entire cocoa production system of Côte d'Ivoire. And IRA claimed that, quote, they either knew or should have known about the systematic use of child labor. Yeah, that's a fair point. If they didn't know, which they definitely do, but if they didn't know, then they should have known.
Mhm.
So there is no excuse, no matter how you look at it. There's no excuse.
Yeah, no.
But it's just easy to forget and stop caring because it's happening on the other side of the world, so who the fuck cares? Who fucking cares? I'm not even being, wait. I mean, yeah, that's how people see it, yeah. Fucking.
It's like, it's not even happening here, so why are we caring?
I'm saying that's how people look at it. Did that come across, or did that come across as me really feeling that?
Kind of came across as you feel it.
Really?
Yeah.
I was being, okay, well, that's not what I was going
Okay,
for
good.
at all. Oh, that's so good.
It's me that knocks.
My hair is such a wreck, and I just don't even really care.
Didn't you say that it's been like a few days since you showered?
What? Are you just gonna fucking out me right here on the podcast, you asshole?
Yes, because you outed yourself earlier.
Shut up. I've had the last few days off. Whatever, okay? I have dry shampoo. It's okay. You know my hair's looking
I literally showered twice today.
voluminous. Well, okay, you also work at Hardee's and you come back smelling like a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take that. Like, you have to shower if you work at a fast food place. You just have to because it sticks on your clothes. It sticks on your skin. I know, like, I worked at Burger King for 3 years.
Ugh.
I fucking know. It was awful.
Burger King is the worst.
Burger King was pretty bad. But it was also a lot of fun depending on, the time period when I worked there.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it
who
was
was
more.
working?
I would say it started out being super fun. It was really fun until a year and a half, and then like during the last half of my time at Burger King, it just steadily got worse and worse
Yeah.
until I just couldn't take it anymore. Walmart was a similar way, although Walmart was kind of just always bad. Don't work at Walmart. No, I shouldn't say that. A lot of people work at Walmart and they
enjoy it.
they love it. Like, it's just a really great environment for some people. It just wasn't for me. It's just not for me personally. No tea, no shade on anybody that likes the job, because it is a good job. They get a lot of great benefits and good pay. It's just fucking not my style of work, I guess. Because I'm a pussy. So now we're going to talk about the company's response to these claims, to these allegations of their use of child labor and child trafficking. Let's see what all these big chocolate moguls got to say about it, huh? Let's see them try to backpedal. Let's start with Barry Callebaut, who I actually am not really very familiar with, but it's a chocolate company. That's all you need to know. Any form of child labor has no place in our supply chain. We strongly condemn forced labor, slavery, and all practices that exploit both adults and children or expose them to harmful or hazardous conditions. Child labor, which according to the International Labor Association organization.
What?
Child labor, which according to the International Labor Organization is widespread in African agriculture, occurs largely on family farms, and is defined as children doing work when too young or work that endangers them. The lawsuit brought forward, this is still the quote by the company, the lawsuit brought forward by the international rights advocates concerns the rare practice of trafficking children to work on farms, which the Ivorian and Ghanaian governments, together with industry, are actively combating. Barry Callebaut has committed to eradicate child labor from its supply chain by 2025. Every year, we publish our progress against this target in our Forever Chocolate Plan.
Forever Chocolate Plan.
They got a plan. See our annually updated human rights statement for more details. We require our suppliers to follow our supplier code, which clearly states our expectations regarding product safety and quality, sustainability, and business ethics. So that's great. They got a plan. And they are saying, like, you know, they're taking the Marilyn Manson approach, right? When the allegations come, they just respond with, "It wasn't me. I didn't do that shit. It's
deny.
All my relationships have been entirely consensual." You know, that old song and dance. Cargill said, "We are aware of the filing, and while we cannot comment on specifics of this case right now, the company wants to reinforce we have no tolerance for child labor in cocoa production."
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. These are all going to sound the same. Children belong in school. They deserve safe living conditions and access to good nutrition. Yeah, no shit, Cargill. No shit that kids deserve safe living conditions. No shit. So then why the fuck are you using them as fucking slaves for your chocolate, bitch? If you fucking think they deserve safe living conditions, why are you allowing them to work hazardously?
And it just goes back to what you said earlier, because
fucking giant
out of sight,
asshole corporations, bro.
Exactly. Out of sight, out of mind. If they don't fucking see it, it doesn't matter if they know that it's happening.
They fucking know this shit is happening. Exactly. They are directly fucking profiting from it, and they are just directly saying they just children belong in school. Yeah, fuck you, Cargill.
Because it's
suck my dick.
But because it's out like overseas, they're not going to do anything about it, because they can't really do anything about it because it's overseas.
Same with you, Barry Callebaut. Fuck you.
The U.S. government doesn't have anything to do with the fucking Syrian government or the Russian government or the Chinese government or anything like that, because most of us are against each other.
They're getting away with it because all this shit is happening internationally. Not to say that trafficking is, you know, like you don't find it in the States at all.
Yeah.
But they're getting away with it on a massive level because they're able to do it elsewhere. Whereas, again, out of sight, out of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Nestle, which Nestle owns a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you, depending on where you live in the country, there's a very good chance you could just walk into a gas station and find a locally sourced bottle of water that's just really owned by Nestle, and it's really just all the same company that they have this water for, but it's under like 20 different brands, and it comes in the name of, like, it's like a Deers Park, Ozarka. We know Ozarka here. That's what we have.
Mm-hmm.
We have Ozarka in the house right now, and it's just they cater bottled water to the area, but it's all Nestle, and is that kind of shady in a way itself? Like, is that kind of shady?
Owning multiple companies or brands isn't, I don't think, shady.
I'm going to pause this. I'm going to pull up all those brands. Okay, so mosey on over to Reddit, and we see here are all the brands that Nestle owns. We have Nestle Pure Life, Buxton. I can't even fucking read that one. Levissima, Perrier, Ericli, St. Pellegrino, this is like sparkling water, I think. Vitel, Henniez, Levi, Poland Spring. Like, they're all the same, but they're all owned by the same company. They just cater to you depending on where you live. And this looks like it's international.
Yeah.
And this isn't all of them, because I know just off the top of my head of more that Nestle owns. Ozarka isn't even on this list. And Deer Park is one that's kind of close to us, but they are all over. Is that kind of shady? Maybe. I don't know. Is it deceptive? Or are like I don't know how we feel about it.
I don't think of it. I don't think of it as anything negative. I mean, it's just a company owning or having multiple
Maybe
brands.
I'm looking into Nestle being that way and finding something negative about it, because as a company themselves, they are so shitty. Did I read their statement yet? No, I did not.
No, you have not.
Nestle said that the lawsuit does not advance the shared goal of ending child labor in the cocoa industry, and added, quote, "Child labor is unacceptable and goes against everything we stand for." Does it?
Yeah.
Does
Most
it?
Definitely.
I'm sure it does.
Fucking
A likely
third time.
story. Nestle has explicit policies against it and is unwavering in our dedication to ending it. We remain committed to combating child labor with the cocoa supply chain and addressing its root causes as part of the Nestle Cocoa Plan. Another fucking plan. Another plan.
Is it God's plan?
It's just, no, it's not God's plan. Nestle's plan ain't gonna be shit. You know what? I know exactly what is in Nestle's cocoa plan.
What?
It's fuck them kids. Let's make more money.
Hire more kids.
Like, I picture this. I picture all these fucking companies taking advantage of these little kids as like big companies holding up kids by their ankles and then holding them upside down and just jiggling all the change out.
Oh my God.
That's what I envision, because that's what's happening here. And then, tossing them in a furnace.
Throwing them
Just
in
an
the furnace
assembly,
like Miss Lovett.
just an assembly line of young children.
We should probably not talk about tossing children in the fire.
We're talking about child slavery, and I'm making a metaphor.
Okay.
And I just think it's bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
I just think this whole thing is bullshit. Like, it shouldn't be happening.
It's
And
pretty shit.
Yeah. An Olam spokesperson said the company has a zero tolerance policy for forced or slave labor in their supply chain. So does our company. We have a zero slave labor policy.
Yes.
Yes. If only Olam could actually, abide by that. If we were to identify any instances, we would immediately take action, which includes notifying the appropriate authorities, it said. That was all to their statement. Now Mars's, I feel like Mars's statement is really telling. And it is not surprising given their history of being so secretive. The fact that they even made a statement at all is something, but here's the statement, quote, "We don't comment on any possible pending litigation," end quote. That's it. That's the whole thing.
They're just like, nope, not saying anything.
Kids? No. Not that I've heard, no.
That's crazy.
Jesus. That's not even saying that's not even them saying no, that's not what we do. That's them saying no, we don't want to say anything. Which is smart. From a company perspective, I guess it is smart. Like, if you're in trouble, as a general rule, never talk to the cops. And this is kind of the same deal. Never talk to the cops. You know that whole phrase, what you say can and will be used against you?
Yep,
That means it fucking will. Like, anything you say can be twisted.
Yep.
So just keep your fucking mouth shut. So Mars is probably doing it right. So that just means that they are very seasoned in the art of being pieces of massive human shit.
Yep.
As far as the whole human trafficking thing goes, The case is being brought in the U.S. under the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act of 2017. That's a mouthful. IRA is currently involved in a separate and long-running complaint filed under the Alien Tort Statute. Not sure why it's called that. Against
tort,
like a tart, but tort, against Nestle and Cargill. There's a quote. There's a whole ass quote. By giving themselves this series of extensions, these companies are admitting they are using child slaves and will continue to do so until they decide it is in their interest to stop. Word. Based on the objective record of 20 years of failed Harkin Angle protocol, these companies will continue to profit from child slavery until they are forced to stop. The purpose of this lawsuit is to force them to stop. Enough is enough. Allowing the enslavement of African children in 2021 to harvest cocoa for major multinational companies is outrageous and must end, said Collingsworth. Man of the people. He's like the Hershey of today. Looking out for the kids. Thank you, Mr. Collingsworth. Unless this is just all big slander and they are all innocent.
I highly doubt that.
It's fucking not true.
I highly doubt that they're not.
Well, then what are all? Well, then what's with all the child slaves? They're there. The child slaves exist. If you deny that you're using them, then what the fuck are they being used for? They're harvesting something out there.
Obviously,
they're
doing
harvesting
something for your company.
They're harvesting something
just
in the area where cacao beans are harvested.
Just because you don't want to fucking...
Kind of fishy, right?
Like, acknowledge it doesn't mean that it's not fucking happening.
Yeah. But, like, they don't even bother, like, actually attempting to sway anyone into thinking that they don't exist because... they acknowledge they exist. They'll be like, we'll stop the use of it a little bit by this year. And
30% dude. Like, that's not even half.
No. Like, they did say reduce by 70%.
Oh.
But that still ain't shit to me.
Still.
Until it's 100%. If there's even one child slave in the world, then what the fuck? Then...
save our children.
I swear there is no fucking God, dude.
Hashtag save our children.
This is fucking ridiculous that this is allowed to happen, man.
Honestly.
Fucking children are slaves for fucking... to make Hershey's milk chocolate so that fucking fat Americans can sit on their goddamn asses and eat Hershey Kisses. Children have to be slaves across the fucking world? There is no fucking God. It's a fucking joke. At least it, like, not...
I fucking love that.
At least not for these fucking kids.
You're
Mocha,
like, there
I
ain't
love
no
you so
fucking
much.
God.
I'm actually a little heated about this, baby. It's really upsetting me. And, with peace and love. Not like you, but like, the material.
I know.
Like, just the existence of all this bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
It's messed up. It's just really messed up. And I'm not about it. I do not support it. I give this situation 0 out of 5 Jerry's.
0.
But I give Collingsworth 5 out of 5 Jerry's. Yes, 5 out of 5 Jerry's. Mocha does this thing where she'll just, like, push her head into your hand and be like, pet me. Pet me because I'm here. Let me move. Charlie, I'm sure Mocha's the most interesting thing right now. Citing research by the U.S. State Department, the International Labor Organization, and UNICEF, among others, the court documents allege the plaintiff's experience of child slavery is mirrored by that of thousands of other minors. Wow. More like millions. Fernando Morales de la Cruz, founder Cacao for Change, said, quote, "This lawsuit against the chocolate industry is about much more than 8 Malayan citizens that were trafficked and exploited as child slaves to harvest cocoa. It is about the fact that the business model of the chocolate industry is cruel,
Yes.
exploitative,
Yes.
illegal,
Yeah.
because it exploits between 2.2 and 3 million children
That's literally
worldwide.
any big corporation, almost.
Besides exploiting millions of farmers and farm workers, all to buy cocoa for less than 1/3 of the real price.
Ew.
They must implement a transparent shared value system with compensation of at least 10 US cents per chocolate bar. This compensation would allow them to pay growers more than $7,500 US per ton of cocoa at the origin, 3 times the amount that the sector presently calls fair and ethical. So all of it is to make a quick buck.
Yep, that's pretty much it. They don't care about people. They don't care about whose lives they're ruining. They just want to make money. And that's all that matters to big corporations.
All I want from this life is to make a lot of money and feel dead inside.
But then again, big corporations, if you want to sponsor us, we're totally in support of everything. Kidding.
Yes. I don't know. No, because I wouldn't want to accept any sponsor that, we don't believe in.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to sell a shitty product or
most definitely not.
yeah, we're really not about that. There's
What if
that's all
Nestle
jokes.
decided to fucking sponsor us?
What if Nestle decided to sponsor us?
Yeah. What would we do? Huh?
I'd say no,
You'd say no?
because I have already.
Hopefully by
'Cause
the
at
time
this point-
hopefully by the time Nestle would want to sponsor us is when we'd already be in our fame, so we could just be like, no.
At this point, I've already told Nestle to suck my dick, so I don't think that they will ever offer that unless they didn't do their due diligence. Because this is an early episode.
Yep.
Once we get into the 200s and the 300s,
Oh my god.
right? Think about it though.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
No.
That would be when the show is going on for years. I don't know. I have no fucking clue at this point where the show is going to end up.
We have no clue.
We're filming with a webcam. We have we bought Walmart lights, and for a diffuser light, I just took a paper towel
And wrapped the
and
lights.
I taped it around the light, and that's my diffusing panel. I have a pretty nice laptop, but everything else is as cheap as
We
cheap
could
as all
possibly
get out.
Yeah.
His mic holder is duct taped to his mic arm,
It's duct taped because it's fucking broken.
and mine is loose. I'm afraid it's gonna fall every other second. I got a used mixer, but we're making it work. And I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yep, we're making it work. We're doing our stuff.
This was our third attempt at this episode. The first time we got all the way through. The second time we got 30 minutes in and then realized that the audio was fucked again for a different reason. But
Then we fixed it. Or Tristan fixed it.
no, you
Tristan
and
fixed it.
you and
Tristan fixed it.
and Heath, our roommate, really helped a lot. He's
Tristan
been very
fixed it.
patient with us. We were originally filming in his bedroom because we only live in a 2-bedroom house, and there's not a lot of room in the house,
Yeah.
and there's just not a lot of spots to film. But we decided to try to move it out here, just because we like the visuals, and we'd be out of his way, and we wouldn't have to worry about his schedule because he works from home. But as soon as we filmed in here, we realized the acoustics were just awful because the living room is, it's pretty big. It's a pretty big, because there's no walls separating anything from the dining room to the living room. It's just all one big room, one big hardwood room. And if you know anything about acoustics and sound, that is the worst
floors
environment because that is just
Hardwood
echo.
floors are just terrible.
That is
for
just echo
sound.
central.
And
so-
high ceiling.
And a high ceiling, which we can't really do anything about, but we've done what we could. We have a blanket on the table. This is a hardwood table that we just put a blanket over that will help absorb some sound. These are hanging to either side of us. They're also behind,
They're moving
right
blankets.
behind the camera. They're moving blankets that we attached grommets to, and
Hooked into the ceiling.
and yeah, they're just hanging from the ceiling.
Very easy takedown
Just
setup.
just a DIY, very, very ghetto, but also very effective because the sound is massively better.
Mhm.
Like, it's insane how much better it is. Oh, look, Mocha. You can kind of see her.
Yeah,
That's
she's been in
amazing.
frame at least slightly for about 10 minutes.
And to conclude this episode, I will
conclude.
chug the rest of my beer and bid you all
I
good night.
already drank the rest of mine, so I'm just going to leave.
Good night, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode, sincerely.